What's going on, everybody? Goofy Rexy here. I'm here again with my guy, Thorn7. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. We decided, of course, to do this again. You guys seem to have liked the first one that we did, so we're going to make this some more of a regular thing. Just sort of, we like collaborating. Collaborating is good for the community, so like to be able to collaborate with you, Thorn, here. Glad to have and happy to collaborate with you here. So we got the new Doom Chapter 2 campaign. We're going to kind of just go over our quick initial thoughts on it, some interesting things that I think are worth, talking about here. So, if you haven't gotten it already, I haven't read it, we're Doom Chapter 2, Doom War Chapter 2 campaign is coming. We can skip this little hoopla because nobody really cares about these words. The biggest important thing that we want to actually look at here is who are they going to require for the first, pretty much basically for all the chapters, the chapter tags and the teams that you're going to need in order to be able to get through this campaign here. So, Thorn, kind of what are your quick thoughts on, kind of like who the... I personally, I don't like the whole Merc and definitely don't like the Wakanda Forever team to be in there. But what are your thoughts on who these teams are, these tags and everything?
Yeah, so I think out of that first three sets of teams, I think AIM is probably the best one there. They probably got the most kind of, because in campaign you're not the timer, there's no timer, so it's just about surviving. So I think they've probably got the best survivability. Yeah. I mean, the Wakandans are meant to be a raid team, but I mean, they're an option if you don't AIM. The mercenaries, they're not really known for their survivability as such. They just they come in fast and hard, and they're out. So I think AIM is probably going to be the best bet, and probably what I'll end up using for those first three nodes. Yeah.
Now, I mean, it's a late game campaign, right? So I mean, unfortunately, for some of you suckers that invested into the Wakandan team heavy because they were supposed to be the raid meta, you're probably gonna be fine with the Wakandans to be able to get through it. If they're built up quite enough. I've seen some like 450k Wakandan teams. So I know that people have them out there. But for me as a mid, early, late game player, I'm probably going to go with AIM just because, number one, I like that team out of all the teams, and like you said, Mercs for me are kind of just more of a quick wham bam thank you ma'am kind of team. They're probably not going to have enough sustain in order to be able to get through it. At least with the AIM team, they do have some sustain, and I'm hoping like with Villain 7 one that you don't have to invest into them too much in order for them to actually be good viable options for you. Now, the second sort of, I guess, section of this Doom Chapter 2 campaign, man, this thing got me laughing hard because the hand team the hand team, are you kidding me? Now, there is Tana has said that there's a possibility that the hand team could be getting a rework, but bro, Thorn, seriously, the hand team?
It's almost like on each node they just each set of three nodes they just threw one team in there just for giggles. Yeah. I mean, there's been rumors for a hand for some time. There was like a video they did 6 months ago, which can't remember who it was showcasing. It wasn't Hand, but Hand was on it, and like Hand Assassin did a move that she doesn't normally do. So there's been rumors of that triggered a Hand rework rumor, and it's been talked about for some time, and I think that's getting some more legs recently. So who knows if we'll get a Hand rework before all this comes out. But I don't think I will be using Hand. I'll probably be using, considering Spider-Verse as an option there, it's definitely going to be the symbiotes, I would think.
Yeah, symbiotes for sure. A combination of, the symbiotes, maybe if you want to use some Marauder sort of characters, if you want to use like Sinister and Stripe, just because you have them built up enough, maybe you can do that. But I think majority of the people here. I'm going to be using my symbiote team. They're 313k for me. I'm definitely going to be using that team to try to get through that portion of it. And then the last one for 7 through 9 is going to be Black Order, Hydra, and then Power Armor. In reality, Hydra is, for me, is like not really a team that would warrant you. I mean, but some people might have them invested into, so you can use them if you want to. Another really is Power Armor. I think majority of this for late game players is going to be the Black Order team. Now, my biggest concern with that, of course, it being the Black Order team for this last sort of portion of the chapter, is they know that a lot of people have Black Order, right? Like they know that a lot of late game players have Black Order. So I'm wondering how difficult those last 3 nodes are going to be. But then at the same time, there's a lot of players who don't have very high, Black Order characters. So maybe this might still be challenging. Like for me personally, I only have a 3 red star, 3 gold and 3 red star, Cole. So for me, that's still going to be probably a little bit of an issue to be able to 3-star it.
I mean, so we didn't talk about this earlier before the video, but I just realized Thanos doesn't actually have a Black Order tag. He's got like Eternal, Cosmic, and everything like that, but he doesn't actually have the Black Order tag on him. So it's potentially going to be, the 4 Black Order only without Thanos, and that's a totally different team when you don't have Thanos in that team.
Yeah, it's true.
So I think it's potentially going to be even harder because if you're not going to have the full Black Order, they're not going to have their full might. So and Hydra, might be a few people that built Hydra up, but most people they saw how quickly Hydra got demolished by Inhumans and just went, nah.
Yeah, right. Well, screw that, right?
Right. Power Armor's a good team. They just don't have much healing, like sustainability. Maybe if you put in, we've got ISOs now, don't forget, throughout all this, so maybe with healer ISOs we may get some sort of team that's viable with them, but it's going to be interesting without a Thanos Black Order. But they've got some good individual characters like Ebony Maw, who you can probably chuck on some other team and maybe run through it. So it'll be interesting to see what people end up using for those final 3 nodes. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I'm sure that there's going to be some big, sort of like theory crafting and figuring out what the best options are for you there. But it's worth mentioning that, though that's going to be the last chapter of it, because as we can see here, they said that the rewards for these high stake campaigns are going to include orange mini unique gear pieces, which we're going to talk about that. But I think probably better to talk about would most likely be the fact that they're going to include Squirrel Girl and then Proxima at Midnight. And you can obviously tell based on how hard this is probably going to be, the last part here, you were probably going to see Proxima Midnight at that last node for her to be farmed.
I reckon she'll be on those final nodes. Squirrel Girl will be up front, and then Proxima should be at the end. Yeah, based on what people are wanting.
Yeah, for sure. I think, so in terms of the campaign now, right, Doom Chapter 1, Thor's at 1-6. So I'm assuming that they'll probably put Squirrel Girl there, and then, 2-6, and then probably, like you said, we already said, like, Proxima being at that last, 2-9, node. So you mentally prepare yourself for that already, that might just be a absolute nightmare to do if you don't have, like I said, a Big Maw or the rest of your Black Order team is not that big, because you're not going to have Thanos in order to be able to do those last few nodes. But circling back for the orange mini gear unique pieces, and first I like to just interject this portion of it before we talk about mini uniques. Where is Cole? Where is Cole? We all want Cole. All right, let's talk about
where is he?
Dang
You know where he's going, right?
Oh, we already know what's it, War Store or
War Store. I mean, I would put money on that. It's just
Jesus, they just don't like us at all. They just don't like us at all. But in regards to the mini unique, so this is actually. We've been wondering, first of all, when this is going to come out for a long time. Not mainly for the characters that we're going to be farming, but really for the mini uniques, right? They said that they were going to make, back in June or July, their blog post for the rest of the year was, okay, we're going to be making orange mini unique pieces more available so that you can start, so that players who have not gotten into Dark Dimension 3 yet would have the ability to be able to farm those pieces. By the way, it's still hard to be able to get through the Doom campaign. So I don't really know how much that you're really helping us there. But I mean, yeah, they're still going to be able to farm mini unique pieces. So we compiled, right, a list of what we have available so far in terms of mini uniques in the Doom campaign, the Doom Chapter 1 campaign. So we have Isochronos, which are obviously for mutants. We have Amanor, Superior Amanor, which is for tech. We have Marrow Extract, which is for bio, Lattice, which is for your mystic, your cosmic characters, and then we have the encoded data, which is for your skill characters. So most likely they're probably going to do the same, like one of each piece again in the Doom Chapter 2 campaign. I think that's helpful, but once again, it's like, how available is it going to be for someone that's mid-game or earlier game,
Yeah. I mean, so I'd imagine for each, what do you call them, traits or whatever, being mutants, skill, mystic, so forth.
Yeah.
Whichever ones we don't have in Chapter 1, we'll probably definitely get in Chapter 2. So, say for instance, for bio, we've got... which one's in bio? So
we got Marrow Extract so far.
Marrow Extract, yeah. So probably like
scans.
A scan.
Yeah.
In Chapter 2, and same with the other traits. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I think it'll help more for people trying to get into Dark Dimension 3 or further themselves in Dimension 3 and get that completed before Dark Dimension 4. In terms of Dark Dimension 4, I mean, we know they're going to come out with a new set of mini uniques that we haven't seen yet. Like we don't even know where and how we're going to be able to farm those.
Yeah.
To get characters to Gear 15. So it's not going to help so much for Dark Dimension 4. I think it's predominantly to help people finish Dark Dimension 3.
Yeah. Well, and actually that kind of segues into kind of what we were talking about before starting the recording here is Dark Dimension 4, and obviously now they're the traits, the new traits that they're going to require, for this new Dark Dimension 4 game mode, which a few ridiculous statements that were made, but the biggest one obviously that everyone's talking about are the new traits, which is just the legendary trait. So obviously they talked about there being a specific legendary trait where now they're going to exclude legendaries from the original ones, which is global, cosmic, city. They're going to exclude you from legendaries, which I think you'd already mentioned it already, right? So for global, that's what, Phoenix and Shuri?
So the global legendaries, Shuri, we could probably jump in game.
Let's do it that way. So for legendaries, for global legendaries, I think it's
Phoenix and there's a few more. Wow,
there's actually a lot of them. well, guess
that's all right, man. What's he doing there? Oh yeah, that's right. He is a legend.
You can't use any of them.
Phoenix and Shuri are the big ones. Definitely Phoenix. Yeah. I mean, in that Strike Time video, they mentioned how Phoenix was an issue, not for us, for them,
right?
Because it helped us clear Dark Dimension 3 at least somewhat easier.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it would be like without Phoenix. To be honest, it would be even more of a nightmare than it already is.
Yeah, I just don't understand why they need to feel the need to do that. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, they said, okay, well, she was the issue. She's just pretty much going in and nuking the entire team. Bro, she was. It still took like 25 attacks to finish one node, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
It wasn't like we needed one nuke. We needed her to nuke like a handful of times, and even then, like getting her nuke off was a challenge.
Right. I mean, how many
just
times
getting a special off was a win sometimes.
Right. How many times did you have to go in and then, oh damn, well this attack is not working. RNG screwed me. Let's go back. Let's go out. Let's quit. Let's go back in again. It's like, come on, man. Like how much was she really nuking anyone? I mean, come on, guys. I don't really understand why they're doing that and what's the purpose of it. You know. So I mean, yeah, this is obviously global. City, I think right now is only, if I'm not mistaken, City is only Doc Ock right now.
City's only Doc Ock, yeah. We finally got our first City legendary, and that's Doc Ock.
Yeah, and then of course Black Bolt, Ebony Maw being cosmic. Oh, Star-Lord I think is also cosmic too,
and Invisible Woman.
So I mean, get wrecked, Commander. You can't use any of those.
Yeah, I like Ebony Maw was really good in Dark Dimension 3, mainly because of his health steal that he does. The same with Minerva, the same principle. So not having Ebony Maw a challenge, but at least we got Minerva. So hopefully she'll be decent there.
Yeah, I mean, right off the bat, I mean, characters that are going to be absolutely important for you to, to really kind of invest into, obviously, are going to be your symbiotes, your symbiote Spider-Man, your Carnage at least, probably Anti-Venom or Venom, definitely you're gonna want Minerva, and then obviously by the looks of it, you're gonna want Yellow Jacket and probably some of those other quantum team characters that are rumored to come into the game too, for some of your nodes also. So it's gonna be interesting in regards to how things are going to kind of pan themselves out and work out. I don't like that they're doing it this way. I'm not really a big fan of it. For me, as an early mid game, as a mid game, early late game player, for me, it doesn't really affect me as much right now, but I could see the frustration for those who are like yourself, right? Who are late game, or even definitely for those who spend a lot of money on the game and spend a lot of money to upgrade their legendary characters, not being able to use them and only having the one legendary required, sort of nodes is pretty annoying.
Yeah, I think that the Dimension 3, they weren't prepared for how quickly Tadano Mac cleared that.
Tadano the champion.
They honestly weren't. They honestly were not prepared for how quickly he strolled through that, and I think for that reason, they're trying to get it slowed down as much as possible, because they want. My bet is they probably want this game mode to at least last for a good half a year at least, even for the whales. So and he cleared it in a month or something. They didn't even have his congratulation banner and that up and running. They were just so not prepared for someone to clear it that quickly, and I think that's the main reason they're trying to make it as difficult as possible, which when you're making it really difficult for Krakens, you're making it near impossible for us,
right?
Other people. So, it's going to be one of those game modes to chip away at it slowly. Not using Phoenix in global nodes, we'll have to see. But yeah, as you mentioned, Yellow Jacket reveal of his kit, and it looks like it's tailored towards Dark Dimension, and he's got Villain Tech synergy as well, so could potentially be a good pairing with him. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. So a lot of people have been saying, Villain Tech having Ultron. I don't know how much of a big deal the Villain Tech synergy is going to be. I think obviously it more so benefits, the other quantum, characters that are also going to be villains, I think it probably benefits them a little bit more. But definitely having some sort of synergy with Ultron will make, I think, will make a big difference, especially if you're not going to have legendaries. Thank goodness that Ultron doesn't have a legendary tag, us we would have been screwed. Completely out of it. The only thing is he's just so damn slow, right? So I mean, in Dark Dimension, so if you're going to be getting nuked like crazy again, it's not really going to make much of a difference. But you made a point that actually I never thought about. I think the reason why they want this to last longer is because they want to give themselves more time to having to create another Dark Dimension.
Yeah, definitely. I think they had to do this quickly because the last one was cleared by most of us pretty quickly as well. So
yeah,
they usually try to aim for one Dark Dimension per year kind of thing, and this one's coming out this year, and they released Dark Dimension 3 earlier this year. So technically, we've got 2 Dark Dimensions in a calendar year. Yeah, so they'll want this one to run a bit longer for the Krakens, the whales, and free-to-play players.
Yeah. So I mean, pretty much to summarize it, I mean, first and foremost, get your tech gear ready. Start farming it now. Secondly, get Wreck Commander. And then third, we wish you all the best. Let's cry together. When it comes to this.
Alien spores. I'm still because getting 5 symbiotes to gear 14 is one thing, but getting them to gear 15 is a whole nother level because you need another 25 alien spores per symbiote. So you're looking at 100 alien spores that you need just to get them from gear 14 to 15. So while they might be good, it's a lot of alien spores.
Yeah, and a lot of us want that symbiote team, me included, to get all the gear tier 14 because they're absolutely phenomenal. They're self-sustaining, self-healing team.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, who doesn't want to bring it up? But of course, doing that, you do it at a detriment to other things too as well on the roster with this, which is the reason why I'm kind of taking a step back on bringing them up as fast as I want to, just because I'm trying to save the catalyst. I'm trying to save all the orange gear that I possibly can, to kind of move forward on that next run. But is this it? Is this all we got today to run through?
I think so. I mean, I think it was a good video.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, guys, appreciate the support. I'll make sure that I leave Thorn's, link to his Twitch page, and I'll make sure, too, as well, that I'll have that kind of popping up, in a video as we move forward. But listen, Thorn, appreciate you being here, man. Always nice to do a video with you. We're gonna continue to make this a weekly thing. We're gonna make this a weekly thing where we do a collab every single week. But appreciate you, man. Obviously,
thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as I always say, be blessed and be safe.